Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? I love me some great storytelling. You know what I love more is great animation, and for some reason this week we got quite a bit of amazing animation for characters I didn't really care to be animated. To be fair, let's be fair. Um, Not only that, we might have just met somebody from Street Fighters in this inside in One Punch universe. I think we just met the Urian family of of this show. So pretty interesting stuff. I'm just really looking forward to where all of this is actually going to play out because at this time we got Saitama, doing his fights and getting exposed for having the wig. And not only that, we still have someone who has straight up bodied, um, what's his face? Genos, who's like on his way to somebody. So not only did he body a super weak Genos, even he was like surprised at how easily or how strong the guy was to do such a thing, even though he was like already injured, which was interesting. So I would really like to know what is kind of going on with that. But overall, man, this show, this show's story is so fun to watch. Not only is it fun, it's so hype when they get into these moments. Like the overall tournament where it's just hand to hand, human on human action was dope and everything, but you got to remember that there's stuff going on as like, um, what's his face? The Atomic Samurai is straight up trying to figure out a way to handle Silverfang's student Goro, Guru, whatever, Garo. Uh, and because of that, it's this weird notion that now we should have a pretty good understanding of how much of a threat if one of these for instance, if one of these guys teach anybody who has potential how much of a threat it could be in the future if that person was to not, listen to their master, take those abilities and use it for their own means, their own gains, stuff like that, and boom bam, you got yourself the Wolfman who shows up and makes it so you can't even wear wigs in this tournament anymore or you'll get disqualified. So we we really got to see some awesome stuff. We also got like a weird confirmation that there could be a lot of humans joining the monster organization by becoming monsters and eating something called like monster cells. So that's a very nice turn of events to not only like flesh out some of these characters who probably are going to have people eating the monster cells and becoming monsters and they're going to have to deal with them themselves. I feel like that's a good way just to have these characters be able to be like, oh, uh, I was going to, talk to you and this and that, and then they find out that their friend or their enemy or whatever, their frenemy has taken this monster cell for the samurai's case, that was like one of his friend enemies, like they definitely did not have the best, relationship just by the way they were talking and the way he was asking for help and stuff like that, and to get blown like to get thrown back in the sense of like, oh well, we don't really care, bro. Like we're here to master the sword, and you're in here bringing your problems to us. Like we don't care, man. So it just goes to show you what type of person he already was beforehand. So I'm pretty sure he's not too beaten up that that guy wasn't gonna help him. And then the fact that he already had taken the sales was a dead giveaway that that character is going to either be fodder or he is useless. And what did we find out about him, ladies and gentlemen? He was fodder. He literally gets blasted by somebody who's not even in his fighting stance yet. And not to mention, he straight up is supposedly much stronger than he ever was before. So not only did he straight up destroy this guy who had monster cells and became much stronger, he somehow did it from an awkward position. And it just goes to show you why they probably called a truce between all these swordsmen, is because probably one of them made them do so, and I think it was the Atomic Samurai. And because man, that was that was so sick. I think that was probably the best part of this episode, was just how he attacked. Not to mention the way that he went from, we need to hunt down the hero, the hero hunter as quickly as possible, to, oh no, we're gonna smash the organization as quickly as possible, and once we smash them, we'll deal with whatever comes after that. But nah, after infiltrating my swordsman's place, and now even corrupting one of them that he probably had on his side and maybe never even thought would ever be on his side, like a Vegeta Goku relationship. And now he gets offered this, and now he's done for. So it's interesting to see this play out. But overall, man, we got so much greatness coming out of this show at times that it's hard to believe the animation looks the way it does at times. Like, you're just like, oh, this could be, everything could be so amazing. Like, for instance, the animation got so wonky and like so uh confused at a time, or like you could tell there's different people working on this and they all didn't have the same memo. After Saitama loses his wig and like he has to pretty much put it back on somehow, some way, or keep fighting, he lets it just go. Like, after this guy has been talking a lot of trash about the heroes and how heroes are useless and they should leave it to someone else and blah blah blah, Suryu carried on with his monologue longer than the fight carried on, with him throwing punches and kicks because martial arts is only to make your attacks look cool. Um, so to know that he did all of those things just to get slapped, by, not only did he get slapped by what, a basic attack, he then gets slapped by a hip and gets bodied. So yeah, that's all she wrote there. So I'm just interested in why he thought that, um once he actually got a feeling, or once Saitama threw that one punch in front of him and it ripped off like everything of his clothes and stuff. I want to know what was going through his mind when he saw that attack. Because if I saw something like that, I'm not running in and attacking again. Like, I'm just not doing it. Like, this man has been literally taking all of my attacks, dodging some of them, taking some other ones, and it seemingly hasn't affected him at all. So why would I continue to then fight over and over? Like, nah, bruh. He was definitely mad about catching that L, and he definitely didn't want to have it on his resume, but L has been received. Not only that, he still wins the tournament because of the disqualification on Saitama, so it's even worse when I think you win by default. And not only did you win by default, you won to a guy who pretty much doesn't even respect martial arts. He literally gave it the most superficial thing, like, oh, you just want to look cool while you're punching and kicking. That's about it. Like, he don't care. So that just goes to hurt his ego that much more. And overall, I think we are probably close to understanding, like, Sirio as a character. I think he might not really have that much going for him unless him and like Genos get into it. Then that would be like the fight of a lifetime. Actually, I don't know. I think Genos might get jacked up by him a little bit for a while anyway, because even when Saitama was going to go in to throw a punch early in the match, he sensed that something was off about him. Like, he almost got powered up or something. Like, Shiryu got powered up. and he backed off. He literally backed off for the first time I've ever seen him do so, in the sense of like, okay, this isn't a smart move that I'm making, and I should probably not make it, seemingly. So I don't know, that was new for me, and it was pretty awesome to see. So with all that being said, though, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you later, because I got another show to drop. Plus, if you guys checked out my uh, Black Clover video, I want to thank you very much. But I got one more video I want to make and get it out to you guys when I can. So I'll definitely start working on that as soon as possible. And I hope to talk to you guys in the next one. All right, peace.